Hello everybody. For people that don't know me, I'm a coach and athlete at Liverpool Pembroke Sefton. We've had a good response to the development plan. In respect of some of the positions of the development plan, there was a space for Co-ordinator of Performance. I was waiting for a bit to see who was going to be interested in that position, and I was doing a bit of research in regard to performance and coaching initiatives, and just wanted to really have a look and see if anyone was interested in that position before I committed to put my name forward. So on Monday, my name was put forward, and I've took on the role of performance coordinator. Now, what that role is at the moment, I'm not sure. It's a case of me trying to find out what is going to be suitable for developing that culture of performance. And performance, the way I look at it, is not just about, performing as in the end result of an initiative to train and reach a goal. Performance can be encompassed in everything that we talk about. I want to perform in my mental approach. I want to perform in just doing a task, a simple task. I want to perform in being more joyful in some of the movement skills that I do. So I think of it's more of a forum for us to share initiatives as coaches and as athletes as well. And from a democratic point of view, some of the feedback that I wish to receive will put me in a direction that helps you. So everybody can contribute to this performance coordinator role. I'll just be the person who can try and deliver some of the information and help and initiatives going forward to make the club perform better nationally, locally, whatever you wish to achieve within the club system. Obviously at this time, grassroots athletics is quite diminishing because there's other sports out there that are very much the go-to sports. And we've got to see how we can not just combat it. All sports are good, all movement sports are good. We've just got to try and find a way of the environment that we're trying to produces good, healthy fun. And the art of what we're doing is one of them parts of what we're going to try and do, the initiatives. So I hope that the performance coordinator role feeds into, obviously, track, road and cross country. There's a box below that feeds into. There's also a field events one, and there's also a multi-events one. Well, obviously, I'm more of an endurance coach, but I'm happy to buy into the ethos of good coaching strategies and talking around them and looking at research and trying to feed into some of the generalized approaches that we can look at and try and get us in a good position, that we've got a nice structure, a flowing structure, a creative structure. I don't envisage that any of the coaches are going to change from a personality point of view, and I don't expect that. And but we all should be embracing a change initiative in some way or form. We can always have a little bit of openness and open our ideas and share ideas, and I think that's how we grow. I think being open to changing mindsets is a big thing as well. That's me coming in and looking at it from loads of different perspectives, and the more you do coaching, the more different perspectives you have. And obviously, because I'm a performer as well, I understand the attributes that take to get to a certain performance level. But that doesn't matter. I've been right through the performance strategy from when I was a kid, when I was younger, and the different stresses involved in that. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and put across some of the learning and the mentorship that I can put across from my experiences. And there's loads of experiences of people. There's hundreds of years of experiences of coaches and initiatives. So hopefully we can get a little bit of feedback and we can go into areas that people think well, I'm struggling a little bit in this area. Can I have a little bit of perspective? And hopefully we can set up some sort of repository that people can go to and go, I've got a bit of a problem in this area. Have we got any information in the club system from a visual point of view? And I'll be doing some papers, putting some Word documents together and try and answer some of them questions. And sometimes some of our learning is audible. Sometimes it's visual. So I'm open that some people might want a visual look at the issues or the challenges that they've got in front of them. Sometimes we have these great coaching conversations for night, and the more we have, the better. The more it's ingrained, the more habit forming it can be by listening to that. But sometimes it's nice to have the feedback by reading and taking it in and looking at the words. And sometimes them words can, if you keep looking at them words, they actually get to the position where you go, okay, I understand that. That takes me back to basic principles. And what we want to try and do is we want to get an athlete-led performance principle in place so that we can follow that principle, and I can then go off on other different tangents for each individual athlete, and hopefully they can get some good feedback, some shared initiatives, some shared stories. You know, the world's full of great stories, and I think we learn more from stories. I think we're brought up on learning from stories. So I want to try and embrace that culture. I want to make sure that we're all trying to get into a position where our knowledge and experiences is accessible, and that's nice. It's nice for the group dynamic. So just an introduction really to see how I'm going to try and assist the club in that respect, and assist myself. You know, I'm always learning. I'm always open. You know, this is a new experience for me, talking in front of a camera. I'll probably get better at this, but this is a thing it's a bit daunting. I'm not used to being in front of a camera. I'm not used to talking in front of a camera. I'll probably improve at it. It'll probably get better as I get more proficient in what I want to talk about and the subjects that I want to talk about, and procrastinate a little bit less, and hopefully get the message on point. So hopefully going forward, some of these initiatives and how we put these initiatives across will be done audio wise, visual wise, and we're trying to look for things to make things a little bit more enjoyable and fun. We might have a little bit of a laugh. We might do internal podcasts with some of our athletes, some of our coaches. But the key structure for us is that we come to the club because we love what we're doing. We love the health and well-being aspect of the club. We also love the group dynamic. And we've got to understand different dynamics of what goes on in that structure and try and enhance everybody's experience, and also to share them experiences, because that's what the group culture dictates, that, you know, we share a bit, we give ourselves over to the group culture, and don't, this is not the group think thing of of looking at George Orwell in 1984 and stuff like that. But, you know, there is research out there that says having a good group structure enhances people's health and well-being. So we're just sharing in the journey, and I think, you know, especially from my perspective on the endurance side, we've got a real good group culture. I've found it so helpful and enhancing for my running and my performance that I've got that foundation behind me that I contribute to, and they contribute back to me. And, you know, some of my performances are, you know, first criteria is, you know, if I'm going to play to any audience, it's going to be my clubmates' audience, my coach's audience, my family's audience. They're the first principle for me. But there is a lot of distraction out there. And what I want to try and do is try and get us focused on all our information and knowledge and experience and what we're exposed to as well. So there'll be young athletes there. There'll be people who think in different areas than me, who've got different initiatives, and they can have conversations with me about them initiatives, and we can try and get some real life data for them initiatives, and also speak openly about some of the things that we want to learn, we want to grow from, and try and share all this wealth of information that we've got on a forum and in a way that everyone's enhanced in the club, everyone's understanding of what they are and what they do in the club in a situation, and individually as well. I mean, we all come into the club to try and make ourselves grow in some respect. So I want to try and get that across as much as possible, that this is a position of contributing to the development of the club, but I don't see it as a hierarchical position. I see it as a helpful position to get conversations going. Hopefully we'll get some good feedback, we can have some fun. The big criteria for me is, when I got involved in sport from a very early age as a youngster, it was fun, it was play, and we need to keep our mindset on why are we doing this. It's because we enjoy it, it's because we were brought up with it. We were all about playing and fun and interacting, and that's what we want to try and do. We want to try and get into that mindset that we're going out to play, everything's exciting. Sometimes there is monotony, and we've got to embrace that too, because sometimes we need to embed something that monotony brings, but that doesn't mean that we don't have good conversations and we make it more fun, and we try and do the best we can in the environment that we're in. So hopefully that's what I want to bring to the table in that respect, and try and bring all these initiatives of information together and enhance all the structures of track, field and road, and also field in its own entirety, and also multi-eventers. My experience of coaching multi-eventers and field events is very limited. In fact, none. I've never coached anyone of that, but we have got great coaches in the club, and we've got great young athletes coming through, and we've got great athletes who are in them environments and getting exposed to really good coaching. So it'd be nice just to have some feedback from them coaches and understand what will enhance their athletes, and it might give us a little bit of perspective on the cross sport of run, jump, throw that could actually help each other in respect of systems and how we manage certain systems, and whether there's any correlation between the run, jump, throw of intermediate athletes, young athletes, that actually transcends into something different that could enhance our experiences as a club and try and grow the club. So I just wanted to really introduce myself first and foremost, and tell you what I intend to do in respect of Co-ordinator of Performance, or Performance Coordinator. But I want it to be quite democratic, that actually come to me, ask me a question, I'll try and research it, I'll try and come up with some understanding of that, and provide some information back. And that might be a little bit time consuming, but I'm happy to do the research and try and get it up there and just change the dynamic a little bit of the club. We've actually got to move into the new era of information age. I think we've stagnated a little bit in respect to that, but everyone's exposed to it now. So let's make sure that the exposure that we have to it is a good, positive exposure, and we're having fun with it. And that's the key. And trying to get all our athletes and all our coaches confident, happy and content in times, which we can be, because everyone has the challenges. So let's hope that this initiative, I'd never heard of this position by the way before Kit had put it in, which is a great development, but it's like it feeds into everything else. So I'll be coming on here at some point and talking about different initiatives and maybe getting a little bit of feedback as well, and then we can go in any direction you want to. Obviously it'll be a case of trying to understand the dynamics that I've found, or the conversations that we can back these up with when we go to training. It might just be a nice little impetus. I want to keep these fairly short and sweet if I can, so I'm going to try and aim for 15 minutes of discussion on certain topics. So I might put out another couple of things with regard to some of the ideas and basic principles that I wrote down coming into the coaching environment, and that might help some other coaches coming into the coaching environment, some parents coming into the parental coaching environment, because we've all got different experiences. So hopefully going forward, this will be a great initiative, and it'll grow the enthusiasm in the club, and let's go from there. But the key criteria for me is that this is a club that's growing. I've just got to keep the momentum going, and I'm really, really proud to be part of that, and honoured that I could actually, come along to a more forward-thinking club now, with people around who are forward-thinking and growing as well. And I'm not saying that it's never been the case; it's always been the case. But we've got to think of a different dynamic now, because there's a lot more challenges out there to divert our athletes' attention away from the initiative of doing athletics and our sport. So let's try and get there collectively, and that's my initiative. If I can get there, let's give it a go anyway. Okay, thank you, bye.